Hello everybody. So, a very wet morning today, Bank Holiday Monday, Easter Monday, and we've had quite a lot of rain overnight. Had a great live last night talking about compost, that was really good. Much appreciate everybody's participation and comments and advice, tips, etc. Excellent live, really enjoyed it. And I think today I'm going to tidy this area up because I've got these old frames from last year that were these sort of blow away cloch things, and the covers just got absolutely shredded in the wind over the winter, so they're in the bin. But the actual frames themselves are okay, and I've got the shelves, and what I'm thinking is, if I move a load of this stuff and tidy it up and take off the top shelf of these frames, they can go under there and I can use it to put trays of plants on and pots of plants that are hardy, you know, quite hardy plants. So the brassicas and lettuce and stuff like that, and then that makes room in the cold frame for more tender crops. So that's the plan. It's going to be a bit of moving stuff around and what have you. And but it's going to make much better use of this area, and then this will be a bit of a sort of propagation area, and it's south facing as well. That's dead south, so it is shaded early in the morning up to sort of 10 o'clock, 10:30, something like that. And then the sun comes around this shed and it's in full sun pretty much all day then. So I think that's the plan. I've just got to find somewhere to put all this now. Bits of old steel. I never throw anything away. I always find a use for stuff. A roll of barbed wire here, which I think at some point is going to get woven through the hedge at the back as a bit of a deterrent, because when we take some of the sheds down at the top part of the plot, a lot of the hedge will be bare behind because there's no light getting to it, so we're going to have to do something with that at some point. So later in the video I'm going to sow some seeds, get some more stuff growing. So where am I going to put this lot? This is one of those jobs where you have to move stuff to then move it again. Yesterday, you remember I've this strip of soil along here. I'll show you in a bit, I'll move the camera. And I was thinking of a plant that I could grow along there that will spread, have flowers, attract the bees, etc. Well, quite a few subscribers have said when I was doing the pot plants at the top that the mint needed potting on, and it does. So yesterday I divided it up and I've put it in there, and I can smell it now. I can smell the peppermint. So I'll take over that area. It might come up in the beds as well, but I can deal with that as and when. And I've got this little bird feeding station that Julie had in the front garden, and she doesn't want it there anymore, so yeah, put it down here in this corner, and I need to get some feed and stuff for them, and they'll quite like that. Right, I need to move all this compost. I think that's going to have to get stacked there, and then I can get to the stuff that's at the back there. There we go. All right. Yeah. There we go. That'll be quite a handy little area for overflow of plants, and like I say, hardier stuff can go down there on the shelves, make some room in the cold frame and in the greenhouse. So it's a bit tidier. Still got all this wood and bits and pieces that we're working through slowly as we do stuff. Eventually I guess we'll just have a big bonfire, but for now I'm not throwing anything away. So I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you the mint that I put in down this little strip. So this is peppermint, and I've just divided it. It was all in a pot, really pot bound, so split it up and just put pieces every so often, and I think that will soon take over that little strip of land and fill this area, stop it being so muddy, still allow for drainage as the water runs off the slabs, and I guess it will just grow up to about the height of this wood, get the sunlight and what have you, and be quite happy, hopefully. And it's going to smell really nice and attract insects as well, because when it flowers the bees love it. Okay, so we'll sow a few seeds. It's April, 1st of April. You can sow just about anything in April, almost anything. So I'm going to sow some beetroot, because I haven't sown any yet this year, and I'm going to put it in these little modules and multi-sow them. So I'm going to put, say, 3 or 4 seeds in each one, and then I'll prick these out as plugs, and they'll just go out as a lump of 3 or 4 seedlings, and hopefully as they grow they'll push each other apart and form beetroot. And last year the beetroot was terrible. It really wasn't worth growing for me. It just didn't come to anything, and the seed was pretty old, so it germinated but then didn't do a lot, and I'm wondering if the seed was the problem. So I've bought some new seed from Oxfam. I was killing some time the other week wandering around the town, and there was an Oxfam shop. Went in to have a look, see if there was any second-hand books that I wanted, and they were selling seeds. Not a massive variety, but you know, I think it was 5 packets for £4. So I bought beetroot, and I bought some Savoy cabbage, because all the Savoy cabbage I've sown this year haven't done anything, they haven't germinated at all. And I bought, there was some others, I bought some marigolds, I can't remember what the others were now. But yeah, if you've got an Oxfam shop in your area, might be worth popping in and having a look. So beetroot seeds are quite big. which makes sowing them easy. So like I say, I'm going to aim for 3 to 4 seeds in each one. There we go. So if we said an average of 3 per module, there's a few beetroot there. We don't need a massive amount of beetroot, it's mainly pickled beetroot we like. So that's that. There we go, beetroot. And those I'll give them water and I'll put them in the greenhouse, unheated greenhouse, just to germinate, and then they'll go out in the cold frame. There's probably no difference, to be honest, in temperature between the cold frame and the greenhouse, because the greenhouse has got a few panes of glass missing. And it's in a north facing position, which is going to have to be altered at some point. We didn't do that, it was already like that when we moved in. So then I'm going to do a tray, and I'm going to sow 2 crops in here, and these are really backup crops to ones that I've already got growing. And I'm going to do cauliflower and some Savoy cabbage. I've got red cabbage growing, no Savoy. So, and the reason I'm going to sow some more is when I plant out the cauliflower that I've got, the chances are I'm going to lose some of them because of the slugs. So sowing a few more is never a bad thing, in my opinion. Always over sow stuff. Come on, there we go. And we'll do cauliflower on this side. There's probably about 10 or 12 gone in there. And these are all year round variety. We always grow those. Found them really good. So we'll go col that way, Savoy that way. I've tidied my shed up so much better now. There's not many seeds in there. Now I don't want many cabbage. We don't eat a lot of cabbage. It's just nice to have some. So I'll put 5, 6 seeds there. And I'll let these just grow on a little bit in the tray, and then they'll get potted on into their own individual pots, this sort of size, and then probably potted on again into something a bit bigger, and then eventually they'll find their way out into the garden if needed. So that's that tray. Give that a covering, not much, 8mm or so. And again, this will go, actually I might even just put this in the cold frame just to get going, or I might put it in the greenhouse and I might move some of the stuff in the greenhouse into the cold frame. In fact, when we're sowing the seeds, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a move around of plants, because because now I've got those shelves as well, those little cloch frames, we can move a few things around. And then in these pots I'm going to sow some courgettes. First courgettes of the year. Will probably be the only courgettes of the year. And I'm sowing these in pots because courgettes, quite a big seed, but they grow so fast. And in these little pots, it wouldn't surprise me that once they germinate, I'll be moving them on into a bigger pot within 3 weeks, I would imagine. They grow that quick. So I make a hole about 2 centimetres or so, 1.5 centimetres, 2 centimetres, and then 1 seed in each pot. And these are variety Black Beauty. I grew these last year. Really nice, and they really do grow. You can look at them one day and go, oh, that's a nice little courgette, and the next day you've got a marrow. So I'm only growing 4 because when they start, oh do they start. And I will, this year I'm going to grow them in pots. Last year I grew them in the ground and they took over an entire bed. So I'm going to grow them in pots and just put them wherever I can, full sun, keep them well watered, give them a feed every so often with some 6 times or some fish blood and bone, and that'll be that. They'll grow away quite happily. Now these will go up to the house to germinate. Courgettes like a much warmer temperature than other things that I've sown, the beetroot and the brassicas and what have you. So courgette, Black Beauty, and there we go. Some more seed sown, and I think I'm pretty up to speed with my seed sowing. Got quite a lot of stuff going now, so we'll sort out all the plants that are in the greenhouse and move stuff around, some out of the cold frame onto those shelves maybe, if we need to, if we need the room. And we'll do the plant dance, move some stuff about. So I'm going to put these broad beans that haven't germinated yet on these shelves because they're really cold tolerant. They'll be quite happy under there. They're fairly sheltered, and they don't need to be covered particularly. They were in the shed until they germinate, but I might as well put them out here now I've got the room. In fact, I'm just going to give these a little bit of a water. And then they can go up here until they germinate. I'm liking that shelf already. Okay, so what we got in the cold frame? Quite a lot. Oh, it's all hardy stuff really. I think I'm going to take these leeks out of here. I need to get these in the ground. I've got a couple of beds ready. Got weeds in there. So I think I'm going to put these down there on that frame, because that's going to remind me to get them planted out. And then
these Elter Craig onions really need to get put in the ground. I've already done a whole tray of these, and we need to do another tray. And you can see that they're starting to go a little bit yellow, and that's because they're running out of nutrients in this compost. And there is a potato growing there as well. That'll be taking quite a lot of the nutrients. Yep. Out of there. So I'll give those a water and put them on the shelf as well to remind me. Okay. Then we've got spinach and calabrese. I think I'm going to leave those in there for now. They're doing quite well. We've got kale. Leave those in there. Again, doing very nicely. I do like kale. And then we'll move. So we've got cabbage and cauliflower in there. We'll move that along, and then here we've got more calabrese. So they can go there. And I've just, if you saw the video, I've just prepared the beds for all the brassicas to go out, but there's no need for me to put them out yet. They're quite happy in this cold frame, and they're not pot bound, and all the time I don't need to put them out at the risk of slugs and cabbage white later in the year. Then I don't need to. I'll just hang fire and let them grow on in there for a while. But that has made quite a lot of room. So I think what I'm going to do is going to get some of the stuff out of the greenhouse and put it in here. So what we've got here is a whole tray of kohlrabi on this row, and then we've got 2 rows of chard, and we've got nearly 2 rows of pak choi. So they're coming along nicely. Not pot bound. Going to be fine in there for another week or 2 at least. So I'm going to give them a quick water, and then we'll put them in the frame. What I can do now is put these lettuce from the greenhouse into the cold frame. These are iceberg in these pots in the tray. These 2, I'm not certain whether they're iceberg or mixed salad, because I dropped the tray and these are the 2 remaining ones. So a few weeds because I'm using spent compost to grow them in, but they can go in there, and as long as I open the frame on the really warm days, they'll be fine. They don't like it hot, so, and that is a danger at this time of the year. You get a really hot day, or a warm day even, and in a cold frame the temperatures can rocket. So you do need to be aware of that and not cook your plants. So that's the cold frame pretty full again. And so that means down here in the greenhouse I can
put the beetroot and the cabbage and the cauliflower in here to germinate. Got some marigolds there, and it won't be long before I can bring some of the stuff down that is up in the conservatory as well. So celery, celeriac, there's some more salad growing up there, more lettuce, yeah, so some of that, as it warms up a bit, nighttime temperatures mainly, and then that stuff can come down as well. So I'll give those a water while I'm here. And on a night time, cool temperatures, I come down, chuck a bit of fleece over them as well. But hopefully it won't be long before that lot starts to come up. And the pyrocanthus cuttings I took last week, they're still looking pretty healthy actually. I thought they'd have wilted quite a lot more than that, but doing okay at the moment. So there we are guys, a little bank holiday Monday video, Easter bank holiday. Got some stuff done, got some more space for my plants, and got the cold frame filled back up, my compost nice and neat, sown some more seeds, and it's really quite warm now. The sun's come out, a few clouds in the sky mind you. I think we might get some more rain yet, but I think I'm just going to potter about now for the afternoon and just enjoy the sun. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it the thumbs up, that really helps the channel. And if you like this sort of content, then consider subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.